my brother Marcelo Uirapuru, Professor Marcelo Azevedo, my longtime brother, world champion, legendary Uirapuru. Thanks, bro. Thanks for making the time to hang out and talk.
Thanks for inviting me. I remember I watched the podcast with Professor Draculino last time. Was amazing. Remember that histories, man. He talked about all the old schools guys. Was amazing.
25 years. You believe that?
26 this year. 25 was last year.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I remember everything. Just the first day I stepped on the mat there and till today. Yeah. I always like to say for my students, this is the best thing in the Jiu-Jitsu is the brotherhood. Medals, titles, this is just 1 second. You celebrate that, but the brotherhood is for the rest of the life.
Yes. You know, when we had the party after, you know, the graduation, and it's amazing, you know, so many guys, like just the connection that everybody has is like unbelievable. You know, it's really special.
Yeah, you can. You don't need to see the guy every day. You can stop to see the guy 20 years. If you meet, it's like it was with him the last day.
Yeah, crazy. Are you from Belo Horizonte originally?
Yes. Born and raised in BH. Just I live a little bit in Europe. That time with Sururu, and now here in Texas.
So how did you get into martial arts? Like, I never, you know, we actually never talk about like your childhood and things like that. What sports you played, and I don't know, the growing up, how was it?
Yeah, I started very young, play soccer in Brazil. Play soccer, but when I turned 10 or 11, something like that, I started to play capoeira. Capoeira is very famous in Brazil at that time. And I played capoeira like almost 20 years.
Wow.
And I become professor, have a big school there. And on this meantime, I started to watch Royce and Gracie in the UFC. And I started to train Jiu-Jitsu to improve my capoeira. Because I like to fight a lot in the capoeira too, and I need to do something different. And it was on the same time Draculino moved to BH, because I think the first UFC is 193, 194.
Yeah.
And Draculino moved to BH 195. And I started training with Draculino on his first month, October 1995. Long time ago.
Versa Academy.
Yeah.
Did you and Sururu go together?
Sururu started to train first, like 1 week before me. And he convinced me to train with Draculino, because on the same time, I don't know if you remember Rui Menezes.
Yes.
Rui Menezes teaching the Rio Sports Centers there, big school in BH on that time. And he invited me and Sururu to train there, give a scholarship for us, you don't need to pay nothing. And like I don't know what is Jiu-Jitsu. And I look at Draculino, and I look at Rui Menezes, I say, look, who is tough, man? Look at him. Strong ears, and Draculino was a skinny guy. I don't believe a lot when I saw Draculino. And I remember Sururu, now let's go to training for him. Okay, let's go to try. And in Capoeira, train a little bit about Luta Livre.
Yeah.
Because the guys from Capoeira are very friendly for the guys from Luta Livre. And I have a little notion about grappling. And I remember the first training I did with Maurão. And I'm like, I submit Maurão 2-3 times. And I submit the big guy. And I remember Draculino called me to train. When I look at him, I said, I'm going to kill this little guy. And I forgot how many times I tapped that day. I remember I come back home crying. I say, oh my God, I don't believe, because I'm famous at that time in Capoeira.
Yeah.
And Draculino made me tap like 10 times easy. And the next day I come back, I say, no, I need to feel this again. And I tap a lot of times again. I say, no, I need to sign up. I need to start to train this.
Wow. Because you guys used to fight, right? You guys used to, in the rodas, in the circles.
Yeah.
Circles. You guys did like a Valetudo kind of fights a little bit, right?
Yeah. Me, Sururu are a little bit crazy on that time. And to make our name, always when you go to somebody's school, you fight against the guys. And I think me and him was the first one to start to train something different from the Capoeira guys, to start to train Jiu-Jitsu. And after that, everybody from Capoeira started to move to Jiu-Jitsu. and Jiu-Jitsu start to grow a lot, and Capoeira start to go down, down, down. And I have one time in my life, I have to decide, I cannot do both on the same time, and I was purple belt, and I decided just to train Jiu-Jitsu.
Did you do Jiu-Jitsu before you saw Royce Gracie fight?
Like I said, every time I went to Rio de Janeiro, you train with the guys from Luta Livre. Because the Capoeira guys are very friendly from guys from Luta Livre. Marco Rua training our student from my Master Camisa. And a lot of times I train with the Marco Rua too. I don't train with him, I just watch him because I was young, I was a kid on that time. I trained with the guy. I remember the first time I went to Eugenio Tadeu Academy and I saw Pequeno. I trained with Pequeno, but just playing. You don't never training serious.
Yeah.
Just play with the guys from Luta Livre. They give a little tips for us. And like I said, a lot of guillotine because Capoeira have guillotine, have double legs, that thing. And when Draculino moved to BH, I thought, no, this is time.
The skinny guy, huh? The skinny guy.
Yes.
Tapping you out.
I go to him and said, this guy cannot beat me. Come on.
There's no way.
It was amazing that day. And I signed up. I remember it was the same time Chichi started to train. Chichi come from Muay Thai, Balidi, Sururu, B, Duroki. Was the first guys there. Jamola, Kazeko was there. Yeah. Kazeko was the guy who teach everybody the first class. Who stays because I love Jiu-Jitsu, because you know Kazeko.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? In the Versa Academy.
Yeah.
Right down the street from the Rio Sports Center.
The second floor. And after you move to the third floor on the Versa, you start in the small mat and grow a lot, you move us to the spinning room. Was a spinning class, they move us to the third floor. I think it got 2 years.
2 years to move?
I think I stayed in the Versa Academy 2 years, and moved to Rio Sports Center.
Do you remember the feeling? What was your goal, like training, like what at that time? You know, like before you even competed, right? Before you even did one tournament, what was your mindset at that time?
It's thing because I have all the mindsets during my journey in Capoeira. When I start to train Jiu-Jitsu, I want to learn a new fight to help me in Capoeira. I don't think nothing about Jiu-Jitsu. I think no. My goal is in Capoeira. I want to be a better fighter in Capoeira. I want to learn some new techniques, some new skills. It's going to help me in Capoeira. And I fall in love fast with Jiu-Jitsu, and I start now. I want to compete. I want to win the tournaments. Don't have a lot of tournaments at that time. It's like just some small tournaments, and they start to do the nationals. And I start to train because of that. It's good because you're the first generation. Draculino, he teaches us, and we helping him to be the best professional in the world because you're the first generation competitors. You're the first generation to move to the no-gi. Let's go to train no-gi now. Everybody start to train no-gi. You're the first generation to do MMA. You learn together. Us and Draculino. Was amazing. I like that. My first goal is to improve my capoeira, to improve my skills in capoeira, and after to be a world champion, after to do MMA, to represent Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Now to be a good professor, to have a successful school.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And when did you? How did you meet Sururu? Just because, for me too, it was for a lot of the guys. He's been coming here to the gym, for quite a few years now. So how did you meet? Because Sururu and Uirapuru, right? You guys back in the early days, you guys were always together,
Yeah, because you're the same school, you're the same capoeira school. But he's from Espírito Santo, he's a state in Brazil, and I'm from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. And every year I have a big meeting in Rio de Janeiro for all the schools, all the Abadás schools go to Rio de Janeiro to train for Master Camisa. And I start to see Sururu, I like his style, start to talk with him, and he lives in Uirapuru, a small city. And one day I invited him, hey, if you want to move to BH, man, I have a bunch of schools there. I'm too young. I have a lot of students. And one day he showed up 6:30 a.m. on the rodoviária and the bus station with his backpack. you start our partnership. You teach together a long time, Capoeira.
And he stayed in BH forever.
Yeah, now he's a BH guy now.
You know, you guys had a nice, he made a nice post. When you guys, hold on, I'm echoing here. Okay. So you guys closed the world championship together, and so many years went by, and it was one of my favorite, just so much emotion and respect and love for each other. You know, you guys closing the brackets, you know, the world championship, the master world championship together. I don't remember how many years ago that was, you know.
In 2015 was an amazing feeling because Sururu always liked me on the pass. He was a lightweight. I was middle half. And man, you won the tournament is already amazing. And when you close the bracket with your brother, he come towards me. Remember, Sururu, stay in the first place. The medal is your medal. I don't care, man. You're happy. I'm happy. This is an amazing feeling. I remember he crying on the because I did the same final after him. He's crying, and was an amazing feeling. I always say the best moments of my life was from my training partners. Was that day with Sururu. Was the day that you remember Danilo beat on the national team in São Paulo.
Yeah,
he won the final. He was brown belt. And Danilo always stayed the third, second, and that day he did amazing fight against that Gabriel Pensador, and who was for me one of the best days. And when my wife won his first world title too, man, was amazing. Like this feeling to see your friends, your family won the tournament is the best thing.
You know, there was no hesitation on your part to give him the first place, you know, because guys can discuss it, you know, but there was no hesitation from you. It was like an honor, just, you know, to share, you know. So what were your thoughts in that moment?
Because it was his first word he won. And like I said, as soon as I won, I know the title is yours, you deserve that, you work hard. Sururu was one of the most technical guys in our school. He teach me a lot Jiu-Jitsu. He smashed me a lot. But I think sometimes he don't have a strong mind to the tournaments, because if he do 30% of what he did in the school, he's going to be world champ a lot of times. And that day when I closed the bracket with him, I said, man, congratulations, you're the world champion. You deserve it. And his brackets on his side is a little bit tougher. He beat some good guys on that day. And yeah. Like I said, it's just a piece of metal to put on the.
It's the memories and the relationships that matters for sure.
When I saw that video, he crying, man.
That was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite moments as well. You know, in my career, to see that happen, because yeah, like you said, he didn't have the world championship titles, you know. So to see not just to win, but then to close the bracket with you in this way was one of the most beautiful things, you know, in my career that I saw.
I think it's the 3 moments of my life. When I closed the bracket for him, when Danilo beat Gabriel Pensador, was amazing that day, and when my wife won the blue belt master words. She was like 10 months trained Jiu-Jitsu, did 5 tough fights, and she did amazing. I don't know that day if I celebrate or cry at the same time. Yeah. I can't stop to train now to compete now. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you started competing, of course you let Capoeira go. Your first interest was to get better for Capoeira, and then you're like, oh, I love Jiu-Jitsu too much. You fully committed. We were in the gym not 7 days a week. I think the gym was closed, right? They kicked us out on the weekend, but you started competing, and then to be world champion, and yeah, we competed in everything. We traveled around, right? We used to stay at your aunt's house in Ipanema, you know.
Hey, thank you, people over there. My uncles, how many guys? There's two. There's 12, 14.
14. 12:15 at your aunt's apartment in Ipanema. You know, like allowed us to save a lot of money. You know, I still have pictures from that apartment.
Yeah, it was funny. I travel 5 guys inside a small car, no AC. It was funny. It's funny, man. Amazing times.
Yeah. Remember that we had to drive around to find a place to stay when we went to tournaments, and because it was before iPhones and before internet really. So we had to literally drive up to the hotels to see if they had a room available. No, this one didn't have a room, so we go to the next one. And I remember, I have a memory of us staying at a motel, like in motels in Brazil, they rent.
Na Barra da Tijuca. I stayed there a lot of times, and you sleep in that bed, the circle beds, 5 guys together. And the guys went to watch the video, say, no, turn off these, please. No. Gaivota. Stay a lot of time. I remember that time. You remember travel, me, Draculino, and Danilo in one car, you, Belo, and Porquinho in the other car. And then I don't want to pay the toll, and the police come towards you guys. Hey, stop! Come on the tournament mad like that, and Porquinho and Belo laughing.
Belo was crying, right? So yeah, going through the tunnels. Alshon was like, don't pay the toll. It was 50 cents. And so Belo was driving his car. So we went right behind the car, went through all the tunnels, and then the police, right? With machine guns against our faces, And luckily they found a gi in the trunk in the back of the car. Oh, my nephew does jiu-jitsu, and they got a little bit nicer. Like, go back and pay the thing.
Just always help us.
Yeah. And we were cutting weights, me and Danilo were in the back, but it all worked out. We all won that day, so it was oh my God. And how was your transition to fight MMA? Actually, we did gi, and then we started to do no gi tournaments, right?
No gi tournaments, but Draculino started to do some tournaments in BH, his tournaments, and he started to have that famous tournament in Brazil, Campos dos Goitacazes.
Yeah.
And he started to travel a lot to there to compete. And I remember my transition. It's not a transition. I remember one day, was 2001 to 2002. Draculino go to you warm up on the mat, and Draculino come, hey, Uirapuru, do you want to fight MMA? I think he's joking. I fight. Come on, with who? Babalu. Okay, I fight with everybody. I don't care. And he go outside and he come back. Okay, take off your gi. I said, no. In 2 weeks is the words. It's the first time I'm going to fight the words black belt. No. I did a deal. We're going to fight with Babalu in 10 days. I said, what? What? And I'm embarrassed to say for him, I don't want to fight. I'm scared. I cannot say to my master, I don't want to fight. And now let's go. It was 30 minutes. I survived. You see, I was 175 pounds, Babalu 210, 220. But it was a good experience.
Yeah, you got experience. I remember too, you had like crazy fights. Usually guys have like easier fights at the beginning, and then they get experience and they get used to the adrenaline, and then they get tough fights, right? But you went right to like the toughest guys.
You don't care about to build the cards. You don't think about that. You want to fight. You don't think about the money because I don't have money. You want to represent first our school, our master, and the jiu-jitsu. And I remember the second fight, Draculino called me, hey, another fight. I say, okay. Against Shogun. I say, what? No, it's good. It's USA. It's dollars. But this time, Eric go. Eric's Vanderlei first fight is against Shogun. He never fought before. Like that. And after Eric fought against Ebenezer. And I go to the tournament, 3 fights on the same night. You don't care about nothing. You just want to go there. You have fun. This is the thing.
Yeah, you had the breakout night for you for an MMA was you had 3 fights in one night, old school style, like Royce Gracie style.
5 guys on the tournament, and let's go. And that day, Jiu-Jitsu saved me because I submitted the 2 last fights. It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. I think it was one of the best moments of my career, that day, 3 fights on the same night.
Because you had some losses before that day, right?
Yeah,
you had like
I lost to Babalu and for Jamelão. Jamelão, I did I was 0-2, and that day I won 3 fights in a row.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a big deal, right? Well, in MMA everybody loses, right? Pretty much, but like it was a big deal to lose, like have a loss, right? Because there's not so many fights. So if you have a loss, it's a big deal, right? And then you completely changed everything by the next night of winning the three fights in one night.
Yes, it was an amazing feeling. It was an amazing day that day. I remember everybody in the corner. At that time, the corner was 12, 13 people. Everybody stayed in the corner.
It was in Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And what was like training for the fights? Go explain the training for the fights. Give a explanation, because now we know we're more advanced, kind of, right? But we're more advanced, a lot more experience. Explain some of the fight training we did back in those days.
Don't have any technique, just put the gloves. I remember that day I go to do 3 fights. I couldn't put every time I have to make 15 rounds with just fresh guys. The third rounds I go okay, and the third to the 15 I just try to survive, and the guy is smashing me. Don't have any technique, just rounds, do some grappling, some wrestling, but it's like that, just like sparring.
Yeah.
You're learning how to train. You don't know how to cut weight on that time. How you cut weight? Stop to eat and you drink. Something like that.
Yeah. And it was a time where when you fought, you really represented Jiu-Jitsu. That was the time.
Yes. I remember that event. I throw just a punch on when I stop on the mount position the guy. All the fights I only grappling the guys. Because I want to save energy. Because I remember 3 fights on the same night. The thing, when I finish the first fight, I want to give up. It's okay, I'm done. It was 3 rounds with a tough guy. And I go to the change room. I remember Olympio, the Muay Thai coach, he come that Thai oil, and he passed me, start to burn, and I start to jump. Oh, it's burning. Are you okay? You're okay. Look, you're jump. You're okay. And the good thing, when I come back to the second fight, I submit the guy in 2 minutes. And the other semifinal, the guys did a war. When I go to the final, I already know I won. Because the other guy is done. He did a war before my fight, after my fight. And the final submit the guy too on the first round, on the backpack.
Yeah, amazing. Wow. Crazy. Different times, huh? Those times.
Yeah.
Like how do you compare like the jiu-jitsu? Because I remember hearing conversations like jiu-jitsu adrenaline versus like a MMA adrenaline.
I have the same adrenaline in both. Until today, I still compete. I go to the bathroom a lot of times before the fight to make pee and come back, warm up. And the MMA was the same thing. The only thing, the MMA, you're a little bit more scared because I remember the first fight. You don't know, I don't have cups on the first fight.
Yeah.
And they're going, what is your cups? I say, what? I don't like to train with cups. But what? You have to use cups. I don't have, you don't. I never use cups on my life. And I remember the guy fought and they, hey, can you give your cups for him? And the guy take off the cups, give for me. I have to put his cups on the change room and go.
You have to use somebody else's cup.
The nose of the guy's here, he broke the nose. I'm scared. Oh my God, I'm the next. But like I said, as soon as the guy do the first punch on you, it's okay. You don't feel nothing more. You don't feel nothing.
It's crazy when you start to see in your locker room when the guys come back from the fight and they lost or got beat up, big cut.
This is the first part. You wait in the locker room. As soon as the guy throw the first punch, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was your favorite moment was the night you had in MMA? Your favorite moment was the 3 fights in one night?
Yes. was that day, that tournament.
Yeah. What was your?
Against Babalu too, against Babalu, especially because after the fight, Babalu did a speech and he said a lot of good things about me, and I'm happy with my performance because everybody bet I cannot survive 2 minutes, and I survived 30 minutes, and I have a clean face after the fight. I fought 30 minutes. If I already have 31 fights,
Yeah,
fought in UFC on that time. 20, 25 pounds more than me. I never fought MMA on that life, just doing grappling, and I survived 30 minutes. I'm very happy with me that. Everybody remember that fight.
Yeah, I remember too.
You're crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. The problem, I'm scared to say no to my master. I cannot say no to my master.
Draculino gave us a lot of courage, huh? And
yeah.
All the confidence. He gives us confidence.
Yes, and I remember, don't worry, Babalu is a little chub guy. You're going to smash him. He's, okay. And now I saw Draculino, this is a chub guy. He's silent. It's okay. It's like your capoeira. Just kicking him and punch. Let's go.
Did you feel like your capoeira helped you with spatial awareness and movement?
Yes. Capoeira gave us how to adapt fast for any kind of situation. There's something go wrong here, go to that side. Something go wrong here. Capoeira. I think I have a lot of very famous capoeiras doing jiu-jitsu, like Cobrinha, Pé de Chumbo. You can see they have a little different talent because you can adapt fast when you stop in bad situations.
Yeah.
Sururu.
What was your worst moment in MMA?
I think when I lost the IFL for Renzo Gracie team, because I almost submitted the guy a lot of times on the ground. In the last 2 seconds, he threw me a Superman punch and he knocked me out. But before that, I have almost 3 or 4 times to submit him. And when you fight for the team, you feel it's not just you. I feel embarrassed because it's the first time I looked to my corner was Draculino, Raya and Ralphie. Man, I'm here. I'm in the changing room for Renzo, warm up. Hey, this is my dream. This guy is my idol. Now I'm here, do the warm up with Renzo. My corner have Raya and Ralphie and Draculino. And I think I disappointed the guys, and I'm very disappointed that day. I think I put a lot of pressure on my back, and I lost a lot of position. And it's hard me to lose that positions. And that day, I think a lot of pressure because to stay with the Gracies.
Yeah,
I'm so grateful for the Gracies, man. And that day was very disappointing for me.
Did you learn anything from that fight?
Yes. Yeah, especially because after me and Renzo fought, and I saw, man, look, how this guy so confident, how this guy so calm. I remember after the fight, he showed Pat Miletich how to escape from the guillotine on the ring. He said, stop here. Do you know why I catch you? Because you did that, and because that I just my guillotine. And I remember this, man, how the hands is so. It's a normal day for him to go to the ring and fight. Like, man, I have to be like him. If I want to keep doing MMA, have to be a normal thing, like walking. For Renzo, fight is like walking. I remember call his name, okay, SB, let's go. He don't have any emotion. He's not scary, he's not excited, he's nothing. Just, let's go. Let's go to play here.
Yeah. different how many total fights did you do?
I think 19 guys.
You had the full career. How many years did you fight total?
I think I started to fight in 2001, and my last one was right before moving here. It was 2014. 2013, 2014. I moved here to USA 2015, guys.
So 2014. And what countries did you fight in?
I fought in England, in cage rage. here in USA, in Brazil.
You never fought in Spain?
No, MMA, no, just jiu-jitsu there.
What was your some favorite moments of yours in jiu-jitsu? Your own competing.
I think that when I won the world's brown belt, I submit the all fights, and then my first nationals blue belt, I did the 7 fights. I remember was 320 guys on my brackets. Today the people complain about 20 guys on the brackets. That time is 300 guys on the brackets. A piece of paper on the wall. You don't know who against who you're going to fight. You just fight. I remember and the first no gi panas, I beat Lucas Lepre on the final 2. I submitted all the 4 fights on that day. Was a good day because I did the surgery in my knee before the tournament. I remember I saw a step on the tournament. You feel when you are, man, I think I'm going to submit everybody. And that day I submitted Macaco, Lucas Lepre, and all the 2 guys. Was a good day too.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the weigh-ins, the old school weigh-ins, like going to Carlinhos' house, Carlos Gracie Jr.'s house, and that's where the weigh-ins were. In his garage.
Underwear, that bathroom scale. You put the hands here behind you, the guy lift you. You see, the people don't believe how is jiu-jitsu on that time. The first tournament, the Tijuca Tennis Club, the people make pee outside the restaurant because they don't have space. And the national was in Yacht Club, Jardim Guanabara.
Yeah.
Was that man? He's amazing.
Did you ever think? We never thought that it was gonna grow or whatever. We just yeah. But are you surprised now to see how big it's gone?
Yes. Yeah. And never in my life, if you ask me back in the days, oh, you think jiu-jitsu is going to be like today? I think no, impossible. But I think now it's just the beginner.
Yeah.
I think just the beginner, and the world start to see all the good things jiu-jitsu can bring for everybody. And I think it's just the beginner.
Yeah, for sure. What are some places you visited to teach seminars and to teach jiu-jitsu?
I'm in luck. I was in Europe. I was in Greece. I was in Poland. I was in England, Spain. Where more? Sweden. I competed in Sweden, the ADCC trials. Sweden, Switzerland, USA, a bunch of places. Russia. I went to Russia with Mamouche when he fought in Russia, in Crimea. It was an amazing fight with him. Thanks God, I have opportunity to visit a lot of countries in the world with jiu-jitsu. Just doing jiu-jitsu seminars, fighting. Was that
amazing? And then Draculino moved to the U.S. after so many years with teaching, and moved to the U.S. with his family, and then you became the head coach. You took over when he left. How was that experience?
Man, was a hard time for me that time because Draculino is Draculino. Okay, he's him. When he left, nobody knows he's going to stay here for good. Everybody thought he's going to come back, and I stayed there 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and everybody asked about where's Draculino. And a lot of people are a little bit jealous on that time. Why is him? It's not me, and I have to control everything. But thanks God, the school keep growing. I think Gracie Barra go by himself. The school, Draculino built a strong roots there. The school is okay. He can put everybody here to be the right instructor. The school is going to walk by themselves. Like now, it's Caloquim and Serginho. They are doing an amazing job. But it was hard times, man. Hard times. Some friends of mine, they a little bit jealous on that time. But thanks God, everybody understands. Everybody's okay now. But Was a great experience. I grew up a lot by like a professor that time. I have to learn to be a leader, to teach, because on that time I was in Europe. I was in Europe. And suddenly I come back and become the head instructor in BH.
Yeah.
One of the biggest schools in the world. It was a big pressure.
Yeah. I'm grateful I got to go visit right before you moved to the US with some of my students.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, that was really nice, you know, to get that. It was an era, you know, I like different eras. So I'm grateful I got to, because I was fighting, I was not competing in jiu-jitsu. I was more fighting in the US. So I didn't have the opportunity to go spend time in Brazil. So it was nice that I got to spend a little bit of time and to see that, you know, to see the work that you did there, which was amazing. Like Lucas Valente and just all the, of course, the amazing guys, you know, that were there.
That school is always going to show up somebody. Preguiça that time,
yeah.
Lucas, and if you go there, like I said, just 5% of the people there like to compete, but the rest 95% is super tough. Yeah. The guys you've never heard about, if you go there to train with the guys go to submit you, but the guys don't like to compete. Man, and I have this a little bit this mentality. In the age is always hard training. Doesn't matter if you want to compete or not. And I bring this mentality a little bit here from my school here in USA. Man, doesn't matter what you want if you want to compete, but you have to train hard. Okay, this is going to improve you for the tournaments, but it's going to improve you for the life, because the life is hard. If you go, no, you are here to improve yourself. Let's go to train hard. And sometimes the guy say, "Oh, Professor Marcelo is a little bit crazy. He push everybody every day." This is the way I learn. And it work.
Old school
yeah, stuff. And it work. I remember the school in the age work, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah. So what was the transition like moving from Brazil to the US?
Yeah, I remember Draculino wanted to open the second school, and he started to talk with me. And I have 2 kids, and I thought, man, I think if I'm by myself, if I'm a single, I'm going to stay in Brazil. I love Brazil. But for family, it's much better here. It's the safety, you have some stability here in your city. And everybody here is super happy. My son, my daughter, my wife. Thanks God the school survived for that pandemic last year. Yeah. Was a hard times. And what's this? I was in 2015. It's supposed to be to open the school in 2015. You delay a little bit. You open the school in 2016. Now the school have 5 years. Thanks God. Everything. Of course, with the Draculino help, everything Draculino put their hands, you know, it's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more easy, because he knows the way to go, the right way to go.
The good character goes a long way, huh, in life.
Yeah.
The lessons we learn on the mat.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. How did you meet your wife?
My wife, she was in the Rio Sports Center. I was the head instructor there. I teach every day, and every time I go to lift weights on the his sport, and she was there. I remember was Marlos the personal trainer for? Who is this girl? And he introduced me, and a friend of mine was dating with her best friend at that time, and let's go to hang out all 4 together. Let's go, let's go. And what that a big friend introduced me for her, and it was funny because it was the first time when I'm going to move to USA at that time. It was 2009. I was Draculino tell me to come here, to stay here, and I moved 3 months after I met her, and I stayed just on that time. Don't have FaceTime, it's just Skype. Talking to her almost a year on the Skype, almost a year. When I come back, let's go to marriage. You wait me 1 year. It's okay. And you married 2010.
Wow.
10 years.
10 years. 10 years. Yeah. Crazy, huh? The 10 years, 2 kids. moved to the US, you know.
Two kids, one dog.
Yeah. How did she start doing jiu-jitsu? Because she's a champion, and you know, it was so much fun to, you know, when we went to the tournaments and to see, you know, she has like the fans. And how did that happen? How did she start doing jiu-jitsu?
She's much famous than me now, but she started to train jiu-jitsu because Draculino. Because when you move here, take almost 1 year to open our school. And she cannot work on that time because I don't have the permanent visa yet. I just have the work visa. And every time I go to Draculino to teach on Draculino school, she go with me and stay there wait me. And one day Draculino, hey, you come here every day. Why you didn't try the class? And she, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's almost impossible to say no for Draculino. If he puts something on his mind, and now go. And she started to train, and she loved it. She have I always like to say she have the best body type for jiu-jitsu. She's tall, long arms, long legs, like a Roger, like a Preguiça. And in 4 months, she became a blue belt. And 10 months, she became a master world champion in the blue belt. She have a lot of talent. She's amazing. She's a yoga teacher. I think this helping her a lot. But she started to train jiu-jitsu because of Draculino. And everybody asks, oh, why she didn't try to train in Brazil? Ben, you don't believe how is our school in Brazil. She tried to start, but she only can train in the noon class because in the evening she have to stay with the kids. You know the noon class. How a girl is going to train the noon class in our school? It's impossible. Now it's okay, it's a little bit better, but on that time, it's impossible. It's impossible. Jiu-jitsu in our time is not for everyone.
Yeah.
This is the truth.
Different time.
Yes. Thanks God, Jiu-Jitsu changed a lot, the mentality changed, but unfortunately, if she's not on that time, she is going to be a black belt a long time. She became a black belt last year.
So you've been running the Gracie Pearland in Houston, and how many years has it been open?
The school now 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. And what is the you know, teaching? What is the community that you've created in US? You know, from what does it mean to you?
Man, it's an amazing environment. It's very different from Brazil. Like I said, if you go to our school, I think 55-60% is kids. You don't see this a lot in Brazil. A lot of kids. I have a bunch of kids. I have a lot of girls, especially because Mariana is there. She teaches human self-defense. She have an amazing program. And I have a lot of girls training. And the age here is different from Brazil, like I said. I have teens until teens. And that age, 17 to 25, 26, I almost don't have any students. And the people 30 and more. It's different in Brazil. In Brazil, if you have the people 16 to 25 train jiu-jitsu more. Now change a lot. On our time, it's like that.
Yeah.
Draculino don't have kids, don't have old guys. It's just us, 16 to 25, 24. And here's different. Here's the jiu-jitsu for everyone. I'm so glad, man. I love to teach kids. I love to stay with the kids on the mat the whole time. It's one thing I'm never going to stop. Teach kids. Maybe I'm going to stop to teach the adults, that stuff, but kids, I love the energy for the kids. And the good thing about the kids, they are, how I say, they don't lie. If they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, I don't like you, professor. They're going to say in your face. And sometimes the adults are a little bit fake. I'm a little bit tired of fake people nowadays. It's because that's a lot of kids. I love kids.
Yeah, it's amazing. How was it the pandemic? You know, all the schools shut down. We all shut down. How was that like? You know, did you guys moved right away to go online training, teaching?
Yeah. If it was me, man, I'm going to start to cry. I start to cry, but it's not. Mariana have a very positive mind. And as soon as she shut down, she talked with me. Hey, you can cry. I'm going to take care of everything. Because, like I said, I don't know what is Zoom. I don't know what is social media. And one day she learned everything and already started to go to the Zoom. Gracie Barra give a lot of support for us. But Mariana, she take care of everything, only her. The only thing I did is teach the class on the Zoom. But the rest, she take care for everything. If she saved the school. This is the thing. She learned everything in one night. She tell, go sleep, stop to talk on my mind, let me think here, I'm going to see what I'm going to do.
How did it feel not to have the people at the gym, not to see the people every day?
It was 2 months, it was hard 2 months, man. I remember every time I finished the Zoom class, I want to cry. I feel fun, man. I never in my life going to imagine it's going to be like that. And it's a lot of energy. Like I teach 3 classes per day on the Zoom, but you spend a lot of energy on that class. I'm exhausted after the class. I cannot walk. And it was a hard time, but like you adapt. You adapt, the Zoom class starts growing. I start to learn how to teach the Zoom class because I start to teach like a normal class and the people just, and I look, everybody's is alone on the Zoom. I cannot teach sweeps here. All the guys go to train sweep on the air. And I start to learn how to teach on the Zoom class, and the Zoom class starts growing a little bit. And thanks God, you open the school after 2 months, just with the dumps. And now I think the things start to be a little bit normal. Now, the people are training, the people feel more comfortable. Let's go to hope this summer, everything is going to be okay again.
Yeah. Texas is pretty open, huh, right now?
Yes. Have a lot of people are scared, and I have a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
It's like that. I'm in the middle of the way.
Yeah.
Of course, I have my concerns, but I'm going to live my life.
Yeah.
Like I went to Brazil this time. I didn't train because I stayed with my mom and my father-in-law, and they're a little bit older. I'm not going to train because my mom's 77, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, 65, 64. But he takes them train, I teach all the class, the kids jump on me, because my everybody's healthy, everybody young. But you have to respect the thing.
Yeah.
The disease is here.
How is it to see your kids training jiu-jitsu?
Joanna, she trained a lot in Brazil, my daughter. But as soon as you move here, she quit to train, and she become a team leader. That thing she only saw in TV in Brazil, and she quit. Now I think she have 1 more year on the high school, and after go to the college. But my son, she's another. He have a lot of talent, but I don't put any pressure on him because he born on the mat. He stay on the mat in BH with us. 1 year he learned how to walk on the mat. And I don't want to put pressure on him, but I saw a lot of talent in him. He's amazing. He already competed some tournaments. He won the tournaments, but I don't put any pressure. Well, when he turned 13, 14, is that time, hey, let's go. You want to train? So now let's go to start to train.
What do you want jiu-jitsu to give? What do you want to give him through jiu-jitsu?
For him, I think this brotherhood, man. I think it's because it's the best thing Jiu-Jitsu gave for me was my friends. It's for the rest of my life. Like I said, I always give this example. The guy who wants to put me to sleep every day, want to kill me, Sururu, is my best friend. He choked me, I tapped, he go a little bit more to me tap, to everybody saw. And I love that guy. This brotherhood, just in Jiu-Jitsu, man. Danilo, everybody, Chichi, Valide, you, all the guys from our generation, you can stay a long time, don't see, don't talk. When you meet each other, it's like a big party. This brotherhood don't have price.
And your students, what do you want to give to them?
Confidence, and the most important thing, confidence and what they want. They want. If they want to be a world champion, okay, I'm going to help the guys to be a world champion. If they want to just have fun jiu-jitsu, I'm going to give. They're going to have fun jiu-jitsu. But the most important thing, confidence. I want all my students to feel confidence and feel they have a great environment, the same brotherhood you had in Brazil, here in Pearland. The people understand when you train hard, it's because you love him. It's not because you want to hurt somebody. It's because you want the best for the guy. I want the guy to improve. I want to bring this here. Because sometimes the people don't understand. Oh, that guy trained super hard with me. I think they don't like me now. He like you. You want to show you have to train. You're going to improve together.
Nice. What's your favorite moment of teaching? You've been teaching for, I don't know how many years now, 20, probably 20, 25, I don't even know how many years. Teaching from Capoeira to Jiu-Jitsu.
I think it's first for the kids, when I saw the kids get more confidence and parents come towards me and say, hey, thank you for what you did for my kid, for my son. He improved a lot in everything on his life. And for the others, is that I think it's confidence too. I remember when I started to teach Preguiça, man, he don't know how to do jumping jacks. But he believed in himself, and hey, I'm going to be the best guy in the world. I think just him believing in him, and he become the best guy in the world. And this is confidence. If you don't believe in you, what are you going to do in your life? Nothing.
Yeah.
You have to be the first person to believe.
Yeah.
You cannot wait somebody believe for you.
Yeah. What did your mom, what did your parents think about you when you started to go down this path of martial arts as a way, as a living?
All my family, what are you going to do? Jiu-Jitsu, you're crazy. And I was and the only thing I remember, my mom said, hey, you have to go to the college, graduate. And I stayed 10 years in the college. My brother always say, hey, you don't have any future on this. You're crazy, Jiu-Jitsu. But you never thought about money. You know that. It's something bring us to the mat all the time. You cannot leave the mat. And I try to work with, I remember Mauricio and the Oficina do Guaraná, but I'm not happy at that time. I don't know one thing. I'm going to teach Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to make some money here. I can live day by day. It's okay. Because you never imagine the life that Jiu-Jitsu is going to go on like today. But my family, he never give me the support, but they never say no. They always say, okay.
What did your father do? What did your father do? What was it? What did your father do?
My father passed away when I was 10 years old. 10 years old. And my brother is a businessman. He's have a great career. He worked in Johnson & Johnson in USA. He lives in USA. My sister lives in England, and my mom stayed in BH. She stayed in BH. But I lost my dad. I was super young, and my mom take care of our three.
Do you think jiu-jitsu and martial arts help that void of not having your father around?
On that time was capoeira. I started to train capoeira because I feel I'm a little bit alone because my brother is almost 10 years older than me. And I think, man, I need to be part of something because I don't have my dad more. My brother is too old. And I started training capoeira. And I feel great. Oh, I have my friends here. I have my master. And I think a lot of people go to a jiu-jitsu school to be part of something. I think the majority of the people, I want to be part of something. And jiu-jitsu is the same thing. I remember I saw Draculino step on the age. I was a white belt, and he know you have a lot of problems in capoeira for other schools, and say, hey, I'm with you. Okay, you're not more alone. You and Sururu are not more alone. If something happens, I'm with you guys. Because the Mão Branco on that time have a big school, and you always care about Mão Branco because they have an army there. And Draculino, I'm with you guys. If you have to go our tree to his school, you go now. You want to go? No, it's okay. Let's go to 8, Professor. Yeah. But it's be part for something. I think this is
Yeah.
This is why I started to train capoeira on that time and jiu-jitsu.
What would you have done if you hadn't found martial arts? Where would you be?
I don't have an idea. I play soccer in Brazil. I don't know. I don't have this kind of soccer here, football de salão, that 5 guys in each side. I play a lot. I was good. I represent my state when I was young, but I don't know, man. Because like when I go to the college, I didn't know that time I go to the college. I don't like nothing. I like to teach capoeira and train jiu-jitsu. Now you have to pick something. And my brother, hey, do economy. I'm an economist. I can help you. Okay, I'm going to try to do that. And when I went to economy, it's just mathematics. Oh my God. I'm crazy for every day. I took 10 years. It's 4 years, I took 10 years. And I don't know. Wow. I think if it's not jiu-jitsu, it's going to be jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same. They told me, oh, you have to be serious about your future. You can't make a living, because my mother and, you know, a lot of my family members, they were teachers, like in schools, you know. And I remember at a teachers union, one of the friends of my mother was like, oh, you can't, the girls like you know, when you're doing jiu-jitsu when you're younger, but you can't be serious about making a living from it in the future. And I remember her saying that and like resenting that she told me that, like being angry. She told me that.
My mom too. And sometimes I play with my mom. Hey, mom, look my house. Look here, my car. Look at my school. You never, I never say that for her. You never say, but you always think in your life, I'm going to always stay behind you to, hey, man, I don't have money, please. I understand.
It was before social media, before paid events, like the times, you know, like there's so much exposure now, but back in those days, it was just heart and soul. Yeah. Our heart and soul, you know, just behind each other.
Jiu-jitsu on the media is bad things. It's the pitch boys. It's the only bad thing they put on the media.
Yeah, in the 90s, right? They had a bad reputation of guys doing jiu-jitsu and bullying people and beating people up in the street.
Yeah, they associated jiu-jitsu MMA. You train jiu-jitsu, MMA, because Royce Gracie, UFC on that time, and thanks God, everything changed.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is just growing. Yeah. The ocean's up, and everybody go together. All the boats go together.
We help humanity, huh? One lesson, one technique at a time.
Yes.
To our part.
Yes.
We have Royce Gracie coming tomorrow to Legacy here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm excited. You know, I'm like a fan. You know, Royce Gracie, right?
If you train jiu-jitsu, not fan about for Royce, man, you don't train jiu-jitsu. Everybody have to be grateful for that guy, man. What he did. Jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu because of him.
Yeah, he was the example, huh? No strength, no technique.
Yeah. Everybody open the eyes for jiu-jitsu.
I have Draculino behind me and Royce Gracie.
Yeah.
What are you most grateful for? You know, in your career, you know, all the experiences, you know, martial arts, competing, fighting, brotherhood. Just what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for my 2 masters I had in my career. First, my Capoeira master Camisa, because he's a guy who teach me a lot. I was super young, and he always talked to me about responsibility, because I'm young at that time. And everybody said, oh, Capoeira, you work so hard. I learned this from Camisa. He always put in my mindset, and if you want something in your life, discipline and hard work. Then you have to give an example. You cannot say to the guys, do something if you do the opposite. Because I was young, 16, 17, and he know, 17, want to party. You can do everything, but not in front of your students. You have to give an example for your students. And from Draculino, man. Draculino, I remember when he moved to BH, man. He don't have a car, he got 2 buses, and he never late on the class. He teach all the class all the time. And he with us in all the tournaments, and his advices, everything, man. He's like a dad for me. He's almost the same age, but for me, he's like my dad. Sometimes you have some problems because you're 26 years together, but I love him.
Yeah.
He teach me everything. He teach me how to teach the school, to teach the classes. He teach my career. If I have everything today, it's because of him.
Yeah, really. Same. I feel the same.
Yeah, and the most important thing of martial arts for me is this respectful, the loyalty, and the grateful. And you see, everybody from Draculino school have this. He never had the guys who left him. Never. From like all the schools, a lot of people, break, go build the same his school. But Draculino, all the first generation is still there with him. Why? Because his example. Yeah. Is that.
Yeah.
And with the same thing I said for me, you have to lead by example, not just, do that, and you do that opposite.
He gave us the example, of leading with the heart, integrity, and professionalism. You know, it's great to see. I mean, everybody, right? Is the lineage. They're champion, champion guys, tough guys, but professionals, all the way, every single person. So it's really amazing, you know. Like I remember his, the gi's always clean. He started the class at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning for taking buses and one car, you know, once they had a car, before he had a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
All of us in the tournament, coach us, give it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's a big pleasure to talk with you always. I hope to spend some time with you in person soon. You know, we're always in and out and being busy with life, but we need to spend some time together, either in Texas or here in LA, Los Angeles sometime. And it's amazing to see you all these years and to do a podcast with you, you know, in English, because, you know, I mean, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever it was when I went to, no, it wasn't 15 years ago. Like when I went to visit in Brazil, 2000, when was that? 2015, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't speak, you barely spoke English, just a little bit, you know? And so it's just amazing, you know, I'm so proud of you. Like, man, he's such an example, true warrior, like alive, like all the good character things that martial arts should give you. You're such an example from the heart. You know, I love you, man. You're amazing, just person, you know. So of much love, and I always wish you the best, you know, and everything you do.
You know, I love you too. Thank you for everything. You're another example. I remember you in Brazil, 5 years. You stayed there 5 years. 5 years, you have very brave to stay down that time because you, like you said, Jiu-Jitsu is not from that time, and you believe on Jiu-Jitsu, you believe in Professor Draculino, you believe in our school, and you come back here, look, the success you have now.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to know you too, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. How can people find you?
Here on the website from GB Pearland, is gbpearland.com, and the Instagram is Marcelo BJJ. The Instagram.
Marcelo BJJ is Instagram.
Yeah, let me check here. I don't know. Let me check here.
And GB Pearland.
Marcelo Uirapuru BJJ.
Marcelo Uirapuru BJJ.
Yeah.
Nice.
And gbpearland.com. And the Facebook is Marcelo Uirapuru.
Nice. Right on, brother. Well, like I said, I hope to see you soon. And
yes,
thanks so much.
Thank you all. Thank you for. It was my pleasure. See you.
See you soon.